I received a response to my previous video about marriage and the Bible. I appreciate that. Briefly, this was their explanation. Everything, our planet and our universe, was created by God, who exists forever. God also has a plan for everything and is in control of everything. And everything that humans have done was actually done by God, who actively intervenes in the events that occur on Earth. If this were true, it would be the most comprehensive explanation ever. It would explain everything. For anything that happened, we could simply ask, why did this happen? And the answer would always be, God did it. God controls everything, and it was part of His plan. This would be the same answer every time. There are some people who actually do believe this. They probably think they're very clever, but there's a problem with the catch-all God's plan answer. Suppose I were to flip a coin, an evenly balanced coin with a 50-50 chance of heads or tails. And whether it lands on heads or tails, you could say it was God's plan in either case. And there is no way to prove this wrong. You can't ask God whether that was part of His plan and receive a definitive yes or no answer. You'll never know. All you have is the assumption that everything that happens is part of God's plan. I use the word assumption because this proposition is not supported by evidence, and the Bible does not constitute an actual authority on this because its alleged authority is entirely reliant upon itself. It's like saying, just trust me on this one, okay? It's like trying to levitate by hoisting yourself up by the back of your shirt. It simply doesn't work. And if the Bible never existed, we would not be able to reach the conclusion of God's plan using nothing but the available evidence and sound reasoning. You just can't get there from here. Furthermore, even if we did accept that God is responsible for everything, that really does mean everything. So not only is God responsible for human achievements such as agriculture, spaceflight, and particle accelerators, but also human atrocities such as the Holocaust and every war and every genocide throughout the history of time, as well as accidents like asteroid impacts, extinction events, deadly plagues, and so on. And if you are inclined to bite the bullet on this one and continue to worship a God that would do that, then you obviously have more faith than I do. But let's go back to flipping a coin. If you were to observe, at a very high level of detail, the entire process of flipping a coin, the coin flying through the air and landing on a surface, you would in fact be able to discern whether it was going to land on heads or tails. This is because every part of the event would be entirely accounted for by the known physical forces of the natural world. Supernatural things like God simply wouldn't enter the picture. Essentially, the hypothesis of God playing an active role in our universe is not only unfalsifiable, it can't be proven wrong, but it's also completely redundant and unnecessary.